Trigger warning. The following podcast contains content that may be deeply disturbing. You will hear first-hand accounts from parents and family members who have lost children to filicide, the murder of a child by a parent or caregiver. These stories are raw, emotional, and shared from the perspective of those who have lived them. They include details of unimaginable loss, system failures, and trauma. Please take care while listening. If at any point you need to pause, stop, or step away, we understand. Welcome back to Voices Against Filicide podcast. I'm your host, Hooton, author, advocate, public speaker, and angel mom to Alec and Lydia. Here on Voices Against Filicide, we raise awareness, educate, we prevent, and we talk about filicide, domestic violence, coercive control, mental instability, and family violence. These conversations are heartbreaking, but they are necessary because every child deserves safety, love, comfort. Every warning sign deserves to be heard, and every life lost deserves to be remembered. That is why we speak the truth, honor their lives, and fight for change. Today's episode focuses on a devastating case out of Glendale and Phoenix, Arizona, involving a mother and her 2 young children, and what authorities are calling a murder-suicide, but what we call a filicide-suicide on this podcast. This episode may be difficult to hear. Please take care of yourself while listening. Step away. Take a break. Your health comes first. Now, as I'm recording this episode, this one hits home for me because it happened 2 years, almost to the day, from when my children were murdered by their father in a filicide-suicide in Surprise, Arizona, about 20 minutes from where this tragedy occurred. According to Glendale and Phoenix police, 38-year-old Andrea Clarice Davis allegedly shot at her husband and another woman outside Tailgater's Sports Bar and Grill in Glendale, Arizona, during the early morning hours of May 25th, 2026. Police say the woman who was with Andrea's husband was shot in the back of the head while attempting to flee the scene. She survived and is expected to recover. Authorities say then Andrea drove home to the family's house. Just so everyone knows, she did try to shoot at her husband, Andolan Davis. However, no gunshots actually hit him. They hit the female instead. After Phoenix police got to the scene at Tailgater's Bar and Grill, they were talking to Andolan Davis, Andrea's husband, and he notified them that he had received text messages from her threatening to hurt their children. Investigators state that she also sent a horrific image showing one of the children with blood coming out of their head. Police rushed to the home that was only about a mile away from the sports bar. After learning the children could be in immediate danger, the police did all that they could. When officers forced entry into the home, they discovered Andrea Davis deceased, alongside her 2 children, Austin, age 10, and Andolan, just 18 months old. Police believe both children were shot in the head before Andrea took her own life via gunshot wound to the head. Friends and family describe Andrea as a loving mother who appeared to be emotionally distressed in recent days. One close friend stated Andrea believed her husband may have been involved in an affair. Investigators have not confirmed the exact nature of the relationship between the husband, Nolan, and the surviving victim from the bar shooting. As of now, authorities say there were reportedly no previous domestic violence calls connected to this home or family. However, experts like myself repeatedly remind the communities and the police that even though there was not any domestic violence police reports, does not mean that absence of danger, emotional instability, coercive control, or escalating crisis was not present. There are always lethality risk markers in these cases. Always. Filicide is the act of a parent intentionally killing their own child or children. When society talks about filicide, many people assume fathers commit these crimes more often. Statistically, fathers are more likely to commit filicide involving multiple family members, especially in cases tied to coercive control, revenge, or separation. However, mothers also commit filicide, particularly involving younger children or during severe mental health crisis or loss of control. Research has shown that maternal filicide cases are sometimes associated with severe depression, psychosis, suicidal or filicidal ideation, fear of abandonment, relationship breakdowns, custody fears that might be coming up, isolation, untreated mental illness, domestic violence dynamics, extreme emotional issues. Some maternal filicide cases fall into what experts describe as altruistic filicide, where a parent irrationally believes they are protecting their children from suffering what's to come next. Others believe that there is such a thing called revenge filicide. Rage, psychosis, or emotional collapse often follow this type of filicide. That does not excuse these crimes. That does not excuse this mother, Andrea, for doing what she did. We have to understand that no matter if it's a mother or a father that commit a filicide crime, it is still the murder of a child. It doesn't matter if it's the mother or the father. It doesn't matter what happened beforehand. It doesn't matter if Andolan Davis was having an affair. It does not give Andrea the right to kill her children. But we have to understand the warning signs to be able to identify when these filicide crimes are going to transpire. When we examine this tragedy through a prevention lens, severe lethality risk markers stand out. The first one, I think, is the obsession with relationship breakdown. Andrea knew what might have been transpiring between Nolan and the other female. And we don't know that for sure, but in a person's brain that is going to commit filicide or suicide or any type of familicide, remember They are not stable. They are not functioning on all cylinders. Their reality is warped. They don't understand the real dynamic and what is happening. Their brain picks apart one thing and they obsess over it. And this might be where Andrea fell apart. Escalation and the ability to access firearms. The violence reportedly escalated rapidly with the use of a gun at the bar and later inside the home. Andrea had access to firearms, and that significantly increases the lethality risk in domestic violence and filicide or familicide cases. Now, this does not mean that we should have 100% gun laws put in place, because I still believe that people should be able to hunt deer or geese or ducks or bears. But when we have weapons in the home, when we have firearms in the home that are accessible to people that are going through crisis, that might be suicidal, that might be homicidal, we need to make sure that we remove those weapons and so that they no longer have access to them. Whether that's taking the guns to a safe space, whether that's putting guns in a gun cabinet with a code that they don't have access to and they don't know. There has to be some sort of line here, because guns do contribute to a higher lethality risk of filicide. One of the biggest high-risk indicators in family violence cases is where a parent threatens harm towards children. Police say Andrea texted threats directly before the murders occurred. She even sent a picture. She was not in her right mind. She knew what she was going to do, and nobody was going to stop her. Cases involving suicidal ideation combined with rage, despair, or emotional collapse can quickly become fatal for children and other family members. It's that split-second decision when you are not thinking correctly that you do something that you can't take back. Now, do I believe that Andrea loved her children? Yes. Do I believe that she was mentally unstable and not well? Yes. Do I believe that she had rage that night? Yes. Do I believe that there was lethality risk markers in her case? Her obsession, her wanting to get back at Nolan? Yes. That is why these filicide cases continue to occur. Did you know that Arizona leads the country in the highest filicide crimes within family court? That is why I am stepping up. I am making change with House Bill 2995, the Alec and Lydia Act, to prevent these cases from occurring. Because I believe that Andrea knew that Nolan and her relationship was going to dissolve. She didn't want that. She didn't want to go through family court. She didn't want to be taken away from her children. So she did the ultimate thing by not only taking her life, but her children's lives. Her children deserve to live. Her children deserve to grow up, to be safe, to be comforted, to be loved. We need to continue to educate through this podcast, through advocacy. We need to pay attention, America, because this continues to happen. every single day in our country. Over 700 children a year are murdered at the hands of a parent. And those are the ones that are classified as filicides. That's on average 12 children a week. The amount of comments I get on social media about different cases throughout the country and the world is astonishing. We need to pay attention. We need to change the trajectory of what's transpiring. We need to educate the community, educate judges, attorneys, legislators. We need to have boundaries with firearms. If someone is not stable, there needs to be gun laws in this country that prohibits them from accessing them. If there are firearms in the home and somebody is not stable, you need to remove the firearms or put them in a place that they cannot access them. This will continue to happen until we stand up, until we understand that these are not just random acts of violence. They are not. One of the hardest truths about this is many people and perpetrators do not always look dangerous behind closed doors. Many family members or friends of these cases would never come to realize that these people would actually commit these crimes. But they do, all the time. Sometimes they are described as loving parents. Sometimes friends say that they never saw this coming. Sometimes there are no criminal records. Andrea didn't have a criminal record. My estranged husband, no criminal record. We have to stop correlating if somebody has a criminal record to fatal violence, because often that's not the case in these domestic violence situations and these filicide situations. A lot of these perpetrators do not have criminal records. A lot of them do have untreated mental illness. They have problems with loss of control or coercive control. They have suicidal thinking. They have emotional instability. They have trauma. They have fears of what's going to happen next, such as custody or separation. They have paranoia, or they have a complete psychological break. This is why education matters. This is why prevention matters. And that is why listening to warning signs matters. Today, we speak the names of these children who are lost. Austin, age 10. Andolan, age 18 months. Their lives mattered. Their stories matter. Their legacy matters. At Voices Against Filicide, we always center the children first. Because children are not extensions of adults. They're not extensions of pain, relationship conflict, or emotional collapse. Children deserve protection, even when adults are struggling. This case is another reminder that family violence is complex. It can involve domestic violence, mental health struggles, emotional instability, coercive control, suicidal ideation, homicidal ideation, and access to weapons. All intersecting in devastating ways. We must continue creating space where people can safely seek help for mental health support, before crisis escalates. We must continue educating communities on lethality risk markers. We must continue fighting for stronger child safety protections. And we must stop dismissing threats involving children as just emotional behavior. Because threats matter. Escalation matters. And children's lives depend on people paying attention and taking it seriously. Now a message to the Davis family. Andolan Davis, extended family, friends, co-workers, classmates, daycare workers. Voices Against Filicide stands with you. We are here for you. If you need anything, please reach out. And our whole community is praying for you. We know that your children are in heaven with Jesus, wrapped in the love and light that he gives all of us. And I imagine, Andolan, that your two babies are in heaven with my babies. I can see they are playing together, and probably your son Austin and my son Alec are playing Pokemon in heaven. I know that this will be a hard road, and you cannot see the path ahead. My advice for you is take it 1 hour at a time. Not one day, not 6 hours, 1 hour at a time. You don't have to know what comes next. You don't have to think about what happens in 6 months, what happens in 1 year. Focus on 1 hour at a time. Focus on your children's legacy. Focus on your healing, because you matter first. Thank you to all of my listeners. If you found this episode helpful, please share it. If you want to get involved with the Voices Against Filicide movement, please follow me at Hope in the Pain on social media, or visit voicesagainstfilicide.odoo.com. Please leave a 5-star rating and review. Thank you so much. Until next time, we honor their lives, we speak truth, and we continue to fight for change. Thank you.